Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak English Podcast. This is your favorite spot to learn English while diving into meaningful conversations about life. I'm Nathan, your host who loves exploring the complexities of emotions.
And I'm Lily, your co-host, ready to navigate today's topic with you. Nathan, I've been thinking about something lately. How do you know when you've really fallen hard for someone? You know, when it's not just a passing crush, but something deeper.
The age-old question. Falling hard for someone is one of the most exhilarating and terrifying feelings we can experience. It's like your heart and mind are caught in a whirlwind. And the funny thing is, you don't always realize it's happening until you're already deep in.
So true. One moment you're just chatting with them casually, and the next thing you know, they're the first thing you think about when you wake up. It's such a universal feeling, yet it feels completely unique to each of us.
Absolutely. And that's what makes today's topic so relatable. We're going to explore the telltale signs of falling hard, share personal stories, and dive into what makes this feeling so powerful. Plus, for our listeners, it's a great opportunity to pick up some English phrases about love and relationships.
All right, Nathan, let's get started. How about we break this down into some key signs?
Let's start with the obvious one. You can't stop thinking about them. They pop into your mind at the most random moments, when you're working, watching TV, or even trying to fall asleep.
Oh, definitely. I call it the background music effect. It's like they're always playing in the background of your thoughts, even when you're focused on other things. Have you ever caught yourself smiling out of nowhere, just because you thought of something they said or did?
Guilty as charged. And then there's the urge to make them happy. You go out of your way to do little things for them, not because you feel obligated, but because their smile feels like a reward.
That's such a sweet feeling. I remember once driving an hour just to get someone's favorite ice cream because I knew it would brighten their day. It's those little gestures that really show how much you care.
And let's not forget about the way their quirks start to seem endearing. Things that might annoy you in someone else, like the way they always hum while they're cooking, become the things you adore about them.
Yes, you start to see them as perfectly imperfect. Their flaws become part of what makes them unique, and you wouldn't change a thing.
Let's talk about the physical side of falling hard. It's not just an emotional experience, it's a full-body reaction. Your heart races when you see them, your stomach does flips, and you might even feel nervous for no reason.
Oh, and don't forget the butterflies. That nervous excitement when you're about to see them, or even when you get a text from them. It's like your whole body is reminding you how much they mean to you.
And time behaves so strangely. When you're with them, hours feel like minutes. But when you're apart, even a few hours can feel like an eternity. It's like your sense of time gets completely warped.
So true, and their mood starts to influence yours. If they're happy, you feel like you're walking on air. But if they're upset, it's almost unbearable. It's like their emotions become part of your own.
Here's another big sign. You start imagining a future with them. Not just the big milestones like marriage or moving in together, but the little things, like taking a trip together, celebrating holidays, or even grocery shopping side by side.
Yes, it's those everyday moments that start to matter. You catch yourself wondering how they'd react to your favorite movie, or whether they'd like your family's weird holiday traditions. It's like they've become a permanent fixture in your mental landscape.
And then there's vulnerability. When you fall hard for someone, you start sharing parts of yourself that you usually keep hidden. Your fears, your dreams, your embarrassing stories, they all come out because you trust them.
That's such a big one. When you feel safe enough to let your guard down, that's when you know it's real. It's like you're saying, "Here's the real me. I hope you'll stay."
Let's address the elephant in the room. Falling hard can be scary. It's vulnerable, and there's always the risk of rejection or heartbreak.
Absolutely. It's like handing someone your heart, and hoping they'll handle it with care. But I think that's what makes it so special. The risk is what gives love its depth and meaning. Without it, love wouldn't be as powerful.
Well said, Lily. And for our listeners, if you're scared about falling for someone, know that it's okay. Love is a leap of faith, but it's one that can lead to some of the most beautiful experiences in life.
Let's get personal, Nathan. Can you share a story about a time when you realized you had fallen hard for someone?
Sure. I remember once staying up all night helping someone prepare for a big presentation. I had my own work to do, but I didn't care. I just wanted to be there for them. That's when I realized it wasn't just a crush. What about you?
For me, it was when I found myself doing something completely out of character. I'm not a fan of early mornings, but they loved sunrise hikes. So one day, I dragged myself out of bed at 4 a.m. just to share that experience with them. Watching the sunrise together was worth every lost minute of sleep.
That's so sweet. It's amazing how love can push us out of our comfort zones. Have you ever felt like you were overthinking everything because you liked someone so much?
Oh, all the time. I'd rehearse conversations in my head, worrying about whether I said the right thing or if I came across as awkward. It's exhausting, but it's also kind of thrilling.
All right, listeners, now it's your turn. How do you know when you've fallen hard for someone? Is it the little things like their laugh or the way they text? Or is it the big moments like realizing you can't imagine your future without them?
Share your stories with us in the comments or send us a message. We'd love to hear how you've experienced this universal yet deeply personal feeling.
Before we wrap up, let's share some useful English phrases for talking about love. For example, butterflies in your stomach means feeling nervous and excited at the same time.
And wearing your heart on your sleeve means showing your emotions openly. Nathan, can you think of another one?
Sure, head over heels means completely in love, like, I'm head over heels for them.
Perfect. Use these phrases to describe your feelings and practice your English.
So, Lily, any final advice for our listeners who might be wondering if they've fallen hard for someone?
My advice is simple. Don't overthink it. Falling for someone is messy, exciting, and sometimes scary, but it's also one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. Embrace it and don't be afraid to feel deeply.
Beautifully said, Lily. That's it for today's episode, folks. Thanks for joining us on Speak English Podcast. Whether you're falling in love or just learning to express it in English, we're here for you.
Until next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep speaking from the heart and in English.